Hey YouTube, Allo Ranger 0215. Today I thought we may talk about some trapping systems for the survival bag, something that's lightweight, pretty easy to set, and also actually catches food. This one here, I know there's been several people on YouTube that's done a common man's trapping system, but this actually happens to be a rat trap for your home. It pretty much catches anything that gets in this trap. And all you do, the best thing to do is one of these corners here, drill a hole so you can attach it to a tree, but on the trip lever right here, you just put your bait, peanut butter, cheese, glue some corn, kernels of corn on there, and when the animal comes to get the corn off, they trip this lever and they're caught. Most of the time a squirrel or a rat or something is killed almost instantly with it. Another one here is called a leg trap. We use these a pretty good bit, but this is one that's set. This is one that hadn't been set yet. But all you do is it has a trip lever in the center. You bait the trip lever, usually a sardine or pretty much anything that you think a coon or squirrel or a rabbit or something may want. This actually works pretty good on coons, and but you tie the bait down to the center of it. The animal comes, tries to get the bait off of it, and they're caught. The next one is, if you actually want to make your traps, this one here is called a spring snare. And all you do is you take a sapling, pretty much has to be a live sapling, so it's got a little bit of a spring to it. You tie some cordage around the end, put two stobs in the ground. Got one here, one here. Then there's a small stick that goes in between them, this thing here. On the cordage you tie it onto there, you tie a little piece of wood about 3 inches long. It goes up under the piece of wood. You come out in front and drive a stop into the ground. And from this little piece of wood you tie it onto the cordage, over to the stop, you just put a bait stick. We have peanut butter on this one. Alright, back at the spring, you tie a small piece of string, put a loop in the end of it, run your string through it to make a noose, and put it where you think the animal may be going after the bait. And what happens is, the animal comes, starts fooling with the bait stick, and knocks it out of the way. Then the stick that you had the cordage comes loose, the trap is tripped, they go inside of the noose, and they're caught. And to set it, all you do is bring the stop that you had the string on, put it up under the stick between the two stobs, there's a stick, the stick that your twine is on, the bait stick that goes over to the stop, and you just spread the noose back over it. Pretty simple trap to make. But the first trap that I ever built, and it's one of the easiest ones, is just a bird trap. And actually, we just have a container with a stick that comes down the front of it. At the bottom, there's a string attached to it, and there's bird seeds up under it. So when a bird comes, somebody pulls a string, the trap falls on the birds. Pretty simple. We have caught a lot of birds in these things. The last one is called a trapeze trap. And you find you a game trail. This one has a spring to it too, but we just have a tree that's been over with cordage tied to the end. It comes down into a Y and attaches to a trapeze. Then there's a stop drove and it's notched out. The trapeze is notched, stop is notched, and on both sides of it we have a snare, one on each side. This trap kind of doubles your chances on catching anything. And if something trips the trap and goes through one of the snares and gets hung up in it, it dislodges the snare, and they fly up into the air and they're hooked in the snare. And it's also pretty easy to set. All you do is bring the trapeze down, hook the notch into the stop, and that's pretty much it. Straighten the snares out. Like I say, you need to scout around and find some game trails, and with this one here, I've kind of stuck some branches in to funnel them into this area. We stuck branches all out the side of it to make them come to this area here, and this is also a heavily used game trail. But if you can't find a game trail, one of the best places to look and where a lot of animals hang out is always around creeks or where there's water. And you can find pretty much game trails all around those areas there. Also, when you get through with your traps, because some of these things aren't very nice when it comes to animals, check them daily and take them down when you're through with them. Even if you're just practicing, always remove your traps when you're through with them. This is Owl Ranger 0215. YouTube, thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.